Hey everyone, you're listening to Kinda Tempted,
I'm Kimai,
and I'm Tanisha.
and today we're kind of tempted to swallow our fears part two. Let's go.
Woo!
Alrighty. So, after that, we are going to get into kind of some lighter topics.
Yeah.
So, do you think you are adventurous or picky when it comes to food?
Oh my goodness. You know what? I make it a point to try different things if they are presented to me,
Mhm.
if I have the opportunity to try them, especially if I have maybe traveled to a place where I can only get that thing there, right? But I will not eat everything. It really, it really depends on what the thing is because I know that there are certain things that I keep trying to try and I never end up liking. I would not say that I would go out of my way though to eat anything adventurous.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Kimai?
I mean, I think I would consider myself adventurous. However, I am not extremely adventurous. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I would want to try any insects. I would try like exotic meats or something, or like I
Yeah.
also like to try different cultures and their, star dishes or their popular foods
Yeah.
because I always like doing that. I'm like, okay, so how does this part of the world eat this, or what are the similarities from this cuisine to this cuisine? So I really enjoy trying different foods, and luckily in San Jose there is an immense amount of variety here.
Yeah.
I've had like Ethiopian food here, Japanese, Korean, Persian. Like it's crazy and I love it. I haven't tried everything, but I would like to. And I think I'll have to give props to my dad because he's the one who finds all of the good restaurants. Like he's better than I am, honestly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember when I went to go visit you, you would be like, "Yeah, my dad like knows this owner," or like my dad like took me here once and I loved it, so I can definitely
Oh yeah,
see.
y'all really like that Cambodian place.
Dude, it was delicious. Okay. Yeah, and I've always wanted to try Ethiopian food too. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong, but I think like, the flatbread that they have with like all the air bubbles in it,
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's called injera, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I just that food looks so fun and like you eat it with your hands and like there are different dishes. Fuck, that seems like an experience I would
Yeah,
like to try.
I really enjoy it. I think if you are unfamiliar with that food, then like maybe it takes a little bit of time for you to get used to it
Right.
because not like I think Ethiopian food, you just have that like a platter and there's different foods on that one plate that
Yeah.
has the bread under it. And then you use your hands to use other bread to scoop it up. And some people are super unfamiliar with that. So they're kind of like culture shock,
Yeah.
but it's definitely something you should try. Like, I think I would encourage y'all to try different foods if you can. Of course, if you're allergic, then like don't fucking eat it.
Please
Um,
don't.
no, yeah, I only say that because Brian is allergic to many foods and he still eats it. And we
Right.
have like we have we have concerns and moments
Mm.
of worries, but
I have heard stories, yes.
yeah. But I will say that I do not like certain ingredients. I don't
Same.
like ginger, cilantro, and most pork. So,
Wow, we are almost the same person. I also don't like ginger. So I'm more of a I don't like certain ingredients type of person,
mhm.
especially like aromatics and like herbs. Like for some reason I have problems, okay? Do not give me like a chunk of ginger, raw garlic, or rosemary. Like I hate it. When I'm eating rosemary, I feel like I'm eating a fucking pine tree, okay? That's how I feel.
Yeah, she hates
Um,
rosemary. I
I
learned
really
that.
do. Um, and also something that I've always wanted to like, but I haven't been able to get there yet are like funky seafoody things. Like I want to like sea urchin, but I have not had sea urchin that I like yet, or like the heads of shrimp and crabs. Like even that is still like a little too seafoody for me,
Yeah,
but I would
actually,
love
same.
to get to a point where I can eat that all the time because I feel like I would have fun.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, my dad is a lot more adventurous than I am. Like, he'll eat everything. I think just with his background, when you grow up in Vietnam and you don't have anything, you have to eat everything.
Right.
So he is familiar and has tried it. And so whenever we have crab, he like eats all of the head stuff, the brains and stuff. And I'm like, Dad, just give me the meat, like
Yeah.
crack open the head, clear out the green stuff and give me the meat,
Yeah.
okay? Um but yeah, I will have to disagree with garlic. I think I love garlic in any form. But like
Raw too?
yeah, like I'll have well like
Wow.
if it's grated and
Mm-hmm.
minced
Yeah.
and stuff and I
Yeah.
mix it with things, then I like it. And I've also had like pickled raw garlic. That's really good. But like ginger, the only time I like ginger is like the sliced ginger in sushi. Sometimes I will
That
eat
one's okay.
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then also like there's this tofu sweet with like the sweet ginger syrup, like that's okay. But like
Yeah.
other than that, I think recently Brian made kimchi fried rice and my mom put ginger in the kimchi and he didn't notice. So he made the kimchi fried rice and I took
Uh-huh.
a huge bite thinking it was kimchi.
Oh
It was
no.
fucking ginger.
Fuck that. Jesus Christ.
I decided my life might have not been worth it at that point. I'm just kidding,
Like,
guys. That's a little extreme, but like
oh
my
my
lunch
God.
was over at that point.
She thought of ending everything right there. Like,
I was like, fuck this ginger, fuck this life. Let me just drive
oh
home and
my
just
God.
I'm just kidding. But
It's like a
like,
fucking trap.
yeah. Like I will eat it if it's cooked in and I can't take it out, then I'll eat it. Like cilantro, they always like throw it on tacos and stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer without, but
Right.
like I'm not
Same.
gonna be like pick out the cilantro for me. Like that's a job for me to do if I need to. Okay.
Dude, we went to Cafe Rio together. I think it was before
Oh,
Coachella. And I was like, oh, what? She was like, what toppings do you want? I was like, oh, everything but the cilantro. And then she takes a big fucking handful of cilantro and puts it on. And I think
I
she remembered
remember.
like halfway through. And she put it on and then she was like, wait, I'm just gonna take this off and put it back into the thing because she was like, she said without.
Yeah, I remember that.
Appreciate
That
her.
was so
Yeah.
funny.
My face
Yeah.
during that moment was like, you bitch.
I know. I
How
was
dare
like,
you?
damn, she didn't give a fuck.
She really wanted me to like die or something. I don't know. Imagine if I had an allergy. Jesus. Uh, yeah. And then another thing too, I cannot do a lot of like organ meats. As much as I want to be like nose to tail eating, things are hard for me right now. Maybe I'll get there one day. We'll see.
Yeah. See, now that she's mentioning this, maybe I'm not that adventurous.
Now that
However, I will eat pate and I will eat hot vitelon, which is balut, okay? I will eat that.
oh,
Okay, I don't eat the duck though, so
okay,
maybe
fair.
that's not as adventurous. I have tried it and I
You didn't
don't
have to
hate
tell
it.
them that, Kimai. You could have just,
I gotta be honest here, okay? I'm all about the honesty.
She can't lie, guys.
But yeah, so that's it.
Wow. Well, do you know of any good or bad influences that you had, particularly in relation to food? Do you remember any?
Other than my family, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, same. Bad for sure.
Yeah, I
Some good,
mean,
but mostly bad.
yeah. So I'll start off with the bad so we can, get into the good.
Cool.
But bad, again, family, toxic aunts and uncles from a certain side. I'm not going to say, but if you know me, then you know.
Same.
They were terrible influences. They have not changed. And yeah, you know what? That sucks. Okay, because they're family. Also, a bad influence is media.
Yeah.
If you do not understand the type of media that's being put out and how it can be portrayed and how it may alter perspectives and realities, then media can be bad because, especially when I was growing up, only certain bodies and ethnicities
Yes.
were showcased on media.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I went through a phase where I was like, I need to have skin white as snow. I need to be super skinny with a big ass
With a
and
big ass.
with like and ginormous boobs, like that's what I
Right.
had to do because that's what supermodels look like. And basically any white person that is on
Yeah.
media, you know? And
Yes.
they are beautiful, but
Right.
they are not, I am not them. And I
Right.
did not understand that. So
Mm-hmm.
that was bad at that time.
Yeah.
But the good and the positive ones are social media. When I am following and looking at the right pages and the right people, right, in a way that they are sharing information that is more realistic and
Yeah.
honest in
Mm-hmm.
whatever journey they're on or whatever
Mm-hmm.
type of content they're sharing. And also that was a good influence because I could take a lot of my inspiration as to what to eat from social media, because
Mm.
the hardest thing for me to stay in shape, in shape, is eating, because as you all can tell, I've had a fucked up eating relationship and fucked up food relationship. But I get a lot of my influence from social media because there's a lot of cool recipes on there that
Yeah.
are simple because I can't fucking cook,
Mm-hmm.
and healthy or healthier for me to consume nowadays. And also another good one are friends. You know, they're always hyping me up, like
Yeah.
Tanisha, and always being honest with me. My friends, they'll listen to me whether or not I'm being super depressing or super hyped up and feeling myself. So thanks.
You're welcome. And mind you, like, surround yourself with friends who, if you need to be hyped up, you can text your friend and be like, bitch, hype me up. And like, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, super helpful.
Yeah, I literally did that to Tanisha a few weeks ago. I was like, I feel like shit, hype me up. And she
Yeah.
sent it. She sent everything.
I did my fucking job.
It
Paragraphs.
was it
Okay.
was good and I needed
Yeah.
it.
You're welcome. It's
Thanks.
okay.
Words of affirmation. Okay, that's what I
Gosh,
need.
love languages. Jesus Christ. Um, check out that episode if you haven't yet. Okay.
Episode 2.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So I agree with the influencers on Instagram too. For me, the ones that are particularly honest and forthcoming with their struggles, that's been helpful. Um, Also, another good influence for me was science, having a science education. Honestly, knowing about what carbohydrates are, what fats are, what protein is composed of, if when you can relate that back into uh, the nutritious foods that you're putting into your body, like it's easy to distinguish what certain foods might impact you in certain ways. And going back to bad influences, definitely family for me. Okay, that's it. And also media for sure. And I have a point to make about that. For us, we were born in the 90s, okay? Going into the 2000s, and the mindset of what a beautiful body was back then was very different than it is now.
It really is.
Yes, because right now, what do we all want? We want a fucking fat ass. Okay, that's what we all want.
We want that
Okay.
curvy body, okay? We
Yes.
want to look and feel like the curviest woman in the world or
Yes.
person in the world.
The Kardashians, skinny waist, impossibly large
Yeah.
buttocks and breasts. Okay.
Hmm.
Um,
But extremely slim arms and slim legs, at least for me. That's what I thought. I
yeah.
was just like, how do you do that? But they have their means.
Seemingly impossible. Okay, I understand. You make a lot of money, therefore you can change whatever you would like to about yourself.
Hmm.
And they have certainly invested in certain things to alter their bodies for sure. Do not think that is real life, you guys. I'm just saying.
No.
But if we're comparing the mindset now to the 2000s, the 90s, what was popular? I believe at a time it was called heroin chic. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you are stick thin. You
Yeah.
don't have a butt, but
You
you do
have
have large
like,
breasts.
yeah. And you have
Yes.
like a square frame. Like it was like that, or it was also like
Yeah.
that boyish, like you don't have
Hmm.
a defined body at
Yeah.
all.
Very Victoria's Secret model circa that time, because
Yeah.
now I believe they're a little different.
Hmm.
Um that's what we thought was beautiful when we were growing up, was stick thin, because that's what media told us was beautiful. That was what was represented most often in media and portrayed to be what you should aspire to be. So
Hmm.
media was definitely an influence. Again, it's all about like perception, like however you take it in, however you start to formulate thoughts around what you see. But that was a negative impact on me because
Hmm.
I am never going to be 6 foot. Okay, tall. I'm never going to be thin, like as thin as they are, like with those body dimensions. Like that is not possible for me. Yo, girl is fucking 5 foot nothing. It's just never going to happen. Okay. So, and it honestly, it took me a while to realize that.
Yeah, I really did. For me too.
Oh, yeah.
I will say though, if you ever feel like you need to alter your body and you really, really need to, and you have the means to do it, then do it. Like
Yeah.
we're not, when we mention the Kardashians and that they can do whatever the fuck they want, they can do whatever the fuck they want,
Right. Because
okay?
that's what they wanted to do for
They want to
themselves.
do
And
it,
that's
okay?
okay. Yeah.
So honestly, like I want to like preach that you should love your body,
Yeah.
but if there's something that's really bothering you and you know that like if I just had this one thing
Yeah.
because it's super bothering me and it's affecting your mental health that much,
Hmm.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Do what you think will be best for you,
There you go,
but make
girl.
sure that you really deeply think about why you're feeling this way.
Yeah. Be sure about your decisions. Yeah, I'm also not against having work done. Like I might get work done in the future. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
Mhm.
Don't judge people for like their personal decisions because like you don't
Yeah.
really know what's going on with them.
So we can move into fad diets. Have you
Oh
tried any
man.
fad diets or have you thought about trying any fad diets? Anything appeal to you?
Well, actually, no. Okay, maybe low carb at one point just because like I heard a lot of people talking about it and I was like, "Oh, like maybe I don't need to eat as much rice or bread. Like maybe I don't have to do that." But I don't think I fully committed to any of these things, mostly cuz I was lazy. And I was like, changing that seems like a lot of work. I think I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Um
that's fine.
yeah, what about you?
So I have not tried any of, well, okay, I tried one and I don't know what this is really called, but I will explain it to y'all. So when I was after my freshman year of college, I gained that freshman 1000 or whatever. Your face. I think I gained around like 20 pounds, okay? And already before college, I was not where I wanted to be, okay? And so after that first year, I had gained a lot of weight from buffets in the dining hall, eating
Yes.
out whenever the fuck I wanted, okay?
Mhm.
Enjoying my life.
Right.
And I told myself that I will do this diet program that my sister was on and my cousin was on. Many people that I had known were
Mhm.
on and had finished. She really loved it. She was able to lose a lot of weight. She told me that after doing this program, she felt like she was more consistent with how to portion her meals. And
Mhm.
so I was like, you know what? Like, I want to lose weight and I am ready to embark on this journey. And this journey was a 6-week diet, and it involved having 5 substitute meals each day and one real meal. The substitute meals were pretty much granola bars, protein shake, packaged food that you would add water to and then microwave, soup, brownie, like things that are just really small. I think they were only about like 150 or 200 calories each, maybe
Oh.
around 150 calories each, and that would be split out. Like you would eat about every 2 to 3 hours. You'd have that substitute meal, and
Mhm.
then you would pick one meal in your day to be the real meal, which was actual food. So like you would have a
Mm.
protein. I don't think we were allowed to have any carbs, like processed carbs, only vegetables and protein. And so that was me for 6 weeks. And they also tell you to not exercise because you are consuming
Mm.
a very, very low amount of
Mm.
calories that your body is not used to and probably should not be consuming so little of.
Mm.
So if you exercise and you don't normally exercise, you probably will faint.
Makes
Um,
sense.
Yeah, they don't tell that to you, but like that's really why they don't want
Yes.
you to exercise. They say you can
Wow.
lose all this weight without having to exercise, but really you can lose all this weight. You should not exercise because you will have negative
Mm.
repercussions. And yeah, basically low calorie, high protein.
Wow.
And it wasn't, I mean, I will say it wasn't difficult for me to stick to because they sent everything to me. Like they sent me all of the granola bars, all of the food, the substitutes that I
Mm-hmm.
needed to have. And then all I just had to worry about was like one meal a day. And so it was easy to have because I just carried that shit with me throughout the day. But the only thing was that, like, if I wanted to hang out with my friends, I had to strategically plan, like, okay, if I'm going to get dinner
Yeah.
with my friends, I can't get lunch with my coworkers during my
Mm.
internship. And like, I was shy. Not embarrassed, but like, I didn't really want people to know that I was on a diet
Yeah.
because I didn't want them to be like, oh, she's on a diet because she wants to
Yeah.
lose weight. That's a little bit, that was embarrassing for me at the time. And I just remember feeling really hungry in the beginning when I was getting used to it. But as time went on and I just didn't fucking do anything to
Mm-hmm.
exert my body, I got used to it. And I will say that I don't want to do that again. I don't think it's something that should be advertised in that way that it was advertised to me, because really you are under eating to lose weight in
Yeah.
6 weeks. And there should be a good balance between it. However, I from that I did realize that
Mm.
you can eat multiple times in a day and not gain weight.
Mm.
And it just depends on what you're eating and how much you're consuming of it. So
Right.
that program did teach me about portion sizing. However, I did not have to go through all that to learn it. I think now with the type of social media that I follow, or the
Mm-hmm.
type of people that I speak to, they could have helped me with that a lot better than going on the 6 week diet that was, I mean, honestly, probably expensive. My sister helped pay for it. She paid for it, honestly. And so I didn't know, but she really she knew that I was struggling, and she had tried it and she wanted to help. And I did lose a lot of weight, but after it, like usual fad diets, it was too good to be true, and my weight still fluctuated until I
Yeah.
found a healthier balance for me to keep a consistent weight. And that is still my journey now. So
Yeah.
that's the only fat diet that I have tried long term.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting. Like, it was an interesting experience. If you want to try it because you are interested in how it feels and how you would get sent this food and how you would react, then like, cool, you can test your body. Just make sure you are careful of what you're doing, and then also
Yeah.
aware and listen to your body.
Yeah. Be aware of how you're feeling at all times. Make sure what you're doing is safe and like you feel okay. Um, if your moods start to change too, like that might be a sign like it's either working or not, right? Or like helping you or not. Um, and you made a good point too. It's a lot of like crash diets, fad diets, like, oh, like lose weight in like 10 weeks, something like that. Like, once you stop that pattern of eating and you immediately after those 10 weeks are up or whatever, like you go back to how you were eating before, your body is going to naturally go back to the way that you were before. Like if you don't end up altering anything else in your lifestyle, right?
Hmm.
And then understand that the reason that a lot of them work is because you are consuming, you are eating in a caloric deficit. Like
Yeah,
it's not,
that's it.
yeah. And the way that they're sold are like in different unique ways, like, oh, like low carb, but really overall, you're just consuming less calories than you normally would. Dang, dude, like that's a crazy fad diet though for you to have gone through.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, I did it over the summer when I was away from college, so I don't think anyone really knew that I was doing it.
Mm.
Especially, like I mentioned, I was shy and embarrassed about it. I think only maybe my coworkers from my internship knew. And
Mm-hmm.
it's, I mean, I was also not in a good mindset, obviously, that
Yeah.
because I was shy and self-conscious of it, I was not in the right mindset to go and embark on that diet because
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't feeling good. And being that being in that type of diet did not positively contribute to anything that I was already feeling.
Mm. So I know that the word diet is like thrown around a lot in the way that, oh, like if somebody says they're on a diet, that means they're trying to lose weight. But just because your diet is different or you are on a diet doesn't mean that that person is has the goal of losing weight. I think that's
Yeah.
just the way that it's been portrayed and overused.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are on a pescatarian diet, and that just means you have a different way of eating than other people do. So that is also an important thing to keep in mind. And I also want to mention that you don't always need to be trying to lose weight. You don't always need to be trying to be in a caloric surplus in order to build muscle or whatever you want to do. You can be at maintenance, and
Mm-hmm.
that is a good place to be for a lot of people for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. So just moving into that, do we follow a particular diet or track calories or macros right now?
You go.
Okay. So right now, I do not follow a particular diet. I do not track calories or macros right now. In fact, I never have. And that's neither good nor bad. It's just something that I have never decided to do. And right now, I do not feel a need to tweak anything diet wise. Maybe because I'm lazy. Maybe I would have a fatter ass, okay, if I like have been in a caloric surplus or like really paid attention to my calories. But like I am in no rush right now to be um, or look a certain way. So
Mm-hmm.
through diet, so I haven't done anything like that. Um, the only reason I've ever tweaked my diet was maybe in an effort to be more healthy, so maybe just incorporating more whole foods and like focusing on produce. Right now, I am mostly intuitively eating,
Mm-hmm.
but when you are purposely prioritizing a certain food group, that isn't necessarily intuitive eating. So it's just we bounce in and out of intuitive eating right now. Yeah, but mostly I just consume what I would like to consume at a moderate amount, and then when I've had enough, I'm good. So like that's how I am currently. What about you?
Yeah. Okay. So as you mentioned, I am on a pescatarian diet, but she also mentioned kind of I'm not doing it to lose weight. I'm doing it. I think I mentioned this in the past episode or sometime. I'm doing it mostly because I've always wanted to try cutting out beef, pork, chicken, those types of meat. But in a pescatarian diet, I'm still consuming seafood, and I'm also still consuming eggs because I can't fucking live without eggs. Okay.
We love
And
eggs.
yeah, we love it. And also partly due to a dare, but like that's fine. It just kind of motivated me.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it, this pescatarian diet. Like, I also, because of the word diet, as Tanisha mentioned earlier, I always hate saying it, or like, not that I hate it, it hurts me a little bit when I say it. Like, I'm like, should
Triggered.
I kind of whisper it, like a pescatarian diet, like
Hmm.
it's something that I don't like to say, but I need to get used to that diets are not bad. Okay. It's just a type of a method of eating.
Hmm.
So I am currently enjoying it because of all the different alternatives. I'm mostly trying to be more vegetarian than pescatarian, but it's difficult because I live with my parents at home and she cooks. In order to help her, it's easier to have a pescatarian diet. So that's another reason as well. And I also can't cut out sushi. Like, if I ever split from sushi, you guys need to call the police and ask like who is impersonating me. Okay, like
Yeah.
that's it. Um,
She's been
but
taken. She's been taken
yeah,
somewhere else. Like somebody has replaced her, and I'm gonna be like, who
yeah.
fucking took my best friend? What the
Like,
fuck?
where is
You
she?
don't want to eat
Okay,
sushi with me? There's something wrong with you.
exactly. Okay. But yeah, so that's the diet I'm currently on. And also, Brian is doing it with me. So, what I want to say is that if you are interested in trying a diet or adjusting how you eat for whatever reason, it's also great to have a buddy to help,
Yeah,
like, to
that's
hold you
true.
accountable. Or
Hmm.
if even if that person is not doing it with you, telling a friend about your experiences to hold yourself accountable
Yeah.
too. Because if you're doing it alone, like when I was doing that diet, I was alone, insecure,
Mm.
and embarrassed, it did not go well.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I ballooned up real fast after that. Okay. And I was like, oh, I lost so much weight. And then like I gained it all back. Okay.
Hmm.
Not fun. But when you have a buddy and you're doing it in a more balanced way, then it's more fun and more sustainable as well.
Yeah.
Um, I, when I was in college though, I did a lot of meal prepping. I didn't weigh my food, but I did use like the same size container. So I
Yeah.
kind of eyeballed everything and it was always the same. And it wasn't a big container, so I knew that like I was eating enough to keep me full, but not a lot.
Hmm.
And it was always like maybe like brown rice or something, veggies, and then some sort of protein. And this helped a lot when I was in college because I was really busy, and also it helped control what I was eating. So I actually like meal prepping. However, I do know that like if you meal prep the same thing for a week, you can get sick of it. So
Hmm.
like what I would do is I would switch out my protein every week. And that kind of spiced things up and like switch the sauce a little bit or something.
Ooh, yeah.
Um, I realized with that I didn't need a lot to be full. And then it was taking control over like my emotional and bored eating because like if
Mm.
I was hungry and I didn't have anything prepared, I would just start snacking until I could think of what to eat. And
Mm,
by that
yes.
time, I'm like halfway full and then I make
Wow.
a full ass meal
That's so
and then
important.
and
Yes.
I'm overeating, you know?
Yes.
And I I was losing weight during this time because I was also exercising a lot. Um, but I will say that my mental health was not good during this time. I was meal prepping, but I also was basically a hermit. Like if I was not going to school or like club events, I was at home studying, being by myself. And like I think I went through a sort of depression during this time because of a lot of things that was going on in my life.
Yeah.
Um, so it was like it's weird because I was losing weight and I probably looked really good at that time. However, I also remember myself being like
Hmm.
really down, and even though I looked good, I did not feel good at that time.
Yeah.
So even though whatever type of meal prepping or diet that you're going on, even if you're seeing results, make sure you take care of your mental health because that's
Right.
super important.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about that? Or
Yeah, like I think it's super important to make sure you have a good foundation in your mental health. Make sure you are okay, you are good, and especially before making any drastic lifestyle or diet change, talk to your doctor, talk to somebody who knows your medical history, talk to a nutritionist, maybe a coach if you're working with a coach. Just make sure. Well, personally, I would recommend that you are in a good place before you make any drastic changes.
yeah.
Could be about anything, not just food and diet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mental health first, always. That is
Hmm.
that is the motto here on this show.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
get that in your head, you guys.
So like during that time, mental
uh,
health, not great. But
yeah.
in the beginning of this year, I was feeling a little better. Okay.
Ooh.
And I felt like I was ready to try something new. So on January 1st, 2021, started the Pescatarian Diet. And I also
Yes.
started using a 12-week fitness journal from Blogilates. And that was the first time I was consistently tracking what I was eating in hopes to like understand what I was consuming during the
Yeah.
day because I mentioned in past I'm not a huge snacker, but when I'm getting ready to eat, I will snack before a meal,
Yeah.
like the appetizer to the appetizer and meal, like
Yes.
so that
Yes.
adds up. Even though I'm not snacking throughout the day, I'm having like 1,000 calories in one sitting or something,
Hmm.
and for me that wasn't good. And so I wanted to write things down to understand what I was eating and also look back like if I didn't feel good the next day, what the fuck did I eat?
Yeah,
Like
that's
what
important. Yeah.
yeah, what contributed to this feeling? And I didn't track calories for the first few weeks, but after a few weeks I was like, okay, so I understand what I'm eating. I understand how I'm sleeping. It's also a sleeping tracker as well. And I was interested to track my calories and macros for the first
Yeah.
time, like seriously. Before it was like unhealthy. I don't even remember. I don't want to get into that.
Hmm.
But I downloaded a fitness tracker and I started putting food in when I was what I was eating during that day. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any specific goal in mind. Like, it wasn't to lose weight, it was really just to see what I was eating and how much calories are in the foods that I was consuming, calories
Yeah.
and macros and shit. Um, and it was actually going really well, really eye opening. And I had a great time with it. And I was losing weight actually consistently for like every week without feeling like I was trying so hard. Like, it was just kind of not effortless because I was working out and like
Right.
still being mindful of what I was eating, but I felt like I wasn't killing myself over trying to lose weight. But I did run into a block because Brian, I think after seeing me track my calories and my consumption, he felt motivated to also track his.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually was triggering for me because we were very different in how we tracked our calories. For
Yeah.
me, when I would eat and just normally just eat. Afterwards, after I finished eating, that's when I would think back and be like, okay, what did I eat? How much was it? And then I would look at the calories then. And then at the end of the day, or I would save it for the end of the day. So I wasn't constantly thinking like I need to track it right away. It was like something towards the end of the meal or at the end of the day that I looked back at.
Mm.
And for Brian, he would track it immediately. He would have the food out in front of
Okay.
him and would track it there, or we'd be eating midway. He's like, oh, I need to track the calories. And, that's totally fine if that is how you work and it works for you. It worked for
Mm-hmm.
him. Seeing that for me, though, fucking killed me
Mm.
because I would be enjoying my food and all of a sudden he would bring it up and I instantly would be thinking about, oh my God, how many calories are in this spoon of food? And
Mm.
like, um is he consuming less calories than me? I was comparing comparing us to each other
Yeah.
when he has a different body type than me and stuff, so I shouldn't have to compare it. But seeing him in that case, the buddy system doesn't always work. And in the past I would have fucking let my mental health deteriorate and keep going. But once I realized that it was triggering me and I was feeling pretty anxious, actually, I voiced my opinion to him. I didn't tell him that he needed to stop, but like I told him how I was feeling and told
Yeah.
him that I was going to stop. So I made that conscious decision to listen to my body and my mind when something wasn't working out anymore and I stopped tracking calories and macros.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't gone back since, but I do think that when I feel ready, I have another 12-week journal, and when I'm ready, I'm planning on going back and writing down what I eat every day, and also tracking calories when I feel ready. However, I feel okay now, but I do not want to get back into that yet. I feel like
Yeah.
I have been consistently having a well balanced diet and working out well enough where I don't feel like I need to track myself right now.
Yeah.
So that is my experience with more my recent experience with tracking calories and macros.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, it totally works for them. And it worked for me for a few weeks or like a month or something. But I decided I knew when it was time to let it go.
Yeah. And that's so important that you were able to recognize your emotions and where your anxiety was stemming from, and
Hmm.
realizing that um, this tool that you were using wasn't serving you in that time.
Hmm.
And that's what you did when you went on, or when you were logging your food, you were using it as a way to understand what you were consuming. You were using it as a tool to understand your eating habits better. And that's amazing, you know. And then realizing when you needed to step away is even more
Hmm.
amazing. And I'm sure that took past experiences too for you to be able to understand yourself and realize. Yeah.
Yeah. It
So,
was it was definitely really hard though, guys. Like, I felt like I was a quitter at one point. I was like, if I stop tracking, like it's I am I going to be disappointed in myself? Do I feel like I'm quitting? No, like if something is not serving you anymore, it's okay. So
right,
if you are interested in tracking your calories or doing any sort of diet, again, like we have been saying, check your mental health
right.
and if you want to try it, go ahead, but just make sure that you're taking care of yourself mentally and physically as well.
Yes.
Mhm.
And there's such a delicate balance too. For some people more than others, right? If you're tracking your macros, if you are counting calories, like you more or less, well, you have to be thinking of food more constantly than if you maybe were not to track. And that can be triggering for a lot of people. It's, I think, pretty easy to become neurotic about it and think about it too often and have that
Mhm.
consume your life. Um, from other people's experiences, remember, like I have not done that before, but these are things that I've read, accounts of that people have read, like, or written online. And that is another reason why I don't particularly want to be tracking anything right now, especially because I've had, my eating disorder experiences in the past. Like even though it was in middle school, it was still something that happened to me,
Mhm.
and I am in a really good place. I'm in such a good place with food right now. I have a healthy relationship with food. I don't think about food constantly. So it's a matter of, do I want to try to do this and maybe think about food more than I want to, or do I just not want to do that right now? And either way is okay. You just got to make sure that you are good with what you're doing. Your mental health is in a good place, and take it one day at a time and don't put too much pressure on yourself, no matter what you
Mhm.
decide. Yeah.
Yep.
Man, this is still heavy. This is a
I
lot, guys.
know.
We again, we still haven't figured out everything. We haven't figured out
No.
all of our feelings. These are just our experiences. Again, everyone is different. I really do feel a need to reiterate this multiple times because you can easily think like, oh, this is what Tanisha and Kim I are doing. Maybe I should try that. You don't have to.
No.
You don't have to do that.
No.
We can move into restrictive eating. Have you ever gone through periods of restricted eating?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think for sure with everything that with I just what I just mentioned, but
Yeah.
I think what I wanted to talk about with this or like briefly go over is the effects of it.
Mm,
For me, when I was restricting myself from certain foods, I would feel super tired, I would get headaches, and I would be super irritated
yeah.
because maybe I wasn't getting enough of these carbs that I need, or I needed a little bit of sugar. Um, so I think just knowing that when you're restricting yourself, you will have your body is going to tell you what the fuck it needs.
Right.
Okay. Like it literally will be like, okay, I need some water, cue a headache right now. Okay. And so, like, that's what I do. So, from learning about how my body reacts to things, that's how I'm able to kind of take care of any symptoms that may occur. So if I feel hungry or if I have a headache, I'll drink some water, wait a little bit, see if it's still there. If it is, maybe I'll have like some nuts or like a boiled egg or something. And then if I'm fucking irritated, I'm hangry. I think I'm
Yeah.
known for being hangry.
Oh, same.
So feed me. Okay, that's it. How about you?
Oh my God. Well, yeah, I just want to say, like, sometimes when I'm hangry, sometimes I'll forget to eat. Like if I am like doing work
Hmm.
upstairs or something, I don't have food upstairs. I don't usually take food to my room. So by the time I get downstairs, I'm so freaking hungry that I will grab whatever convenient food is
Yeah.
around if I don't have something ready for my meal, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I have to kindly remember, like, maybe Dave will call me and he's talking to me. And if I get hungry all of a sudden, I have to be like, okay, fair warning, I'm going to start being pissed for no reason unless I get a snack right now. So I'm going to be like, okay, wait, let me go grab like a granola bar or something and I'll be back and I won't be mean to you. Like it's a real warning, okay? Because serious. And also remember, guys, that I had an event during freshman year of college where I stole a granola bar under my roommate's bed because I had deprived myself of processed things and sugar
Hmm.
for so long that it drove me to that point, right? Which I didn't realize until later, okay? Um, and also, when I was living with my aunt for a year, she doesn't have sugar in the house, um, just because, like, she's just one of those people, which is completely different from my household. And I am also too lazy to go and buy sugar or like things that have sugar in it myself. So I slowly got to the point where I was feeling irritable, and I did not know why. And then I realized that I was constantly thinking about like, oh, like maybe I'll buy a cookie like before I go home or something like that. Like I would think about it so often because I hadn't had it in a while.
Oh my
And that's
gosh.
what restriction can do to you.
Yeah.
And let me put my science hat on. Okay, your brain needs glucose to function, it needs sugar to function. And if it doesn't have that, then you are going to be in a different state of mind, honestly.
Yeah, really.
So sugar is not bad. Sugar is not inherently bad. Okay. Um, it's just, again, the amount that you are consuming and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. Those are my experiences with restrictive eating, which were short-lived, mostly because, again, I'm a lazy bitch. Okay, like I'm not gonna go out of my way to get something I'm craving. Usually, my cravings might just leave, like a whisper in the wind. You know, they might just
Oh,
like exit.
wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Or I will watch a mukbang
Oh my
of someone
God.
eating the food, and like honestly, sometimes that is enough for me. Sometimes.
It's like that video of someone like smelling the hamburger, but
Oh
you
my
taking a bite
god.
of an apple. Is that what you do? You're like watching it, but you're like eating some fruit on the side, like
Honestly,
this instant
sometimes.
noodle's good or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And I totally could go like buy whatever I want, but
Hmm.
I'm a lazy bitch.
It's fine. I do the same
Yeah.
thing, and I'm just frustrated by myself.
I mean, on that note, I guess we can move into cravings. What kind
Yeah,
of cravings do you have?
I
And what were
actually
you
want
gonna
to
say?
mention
Oh
something
yeah, go
though.
ahead.
When you're saying like, oh, you don't have food in your room, I wanted to mention Amanda because like we need to mention Amanda.
We have
Um,
to every
yeah,
time.
I just remember one time we were saying like you and I were just like, oh, we're so hungry or we want a snack or something, and it was like
Yeah.
super late at night, and she's like,
Uh-huh.
oh, me too. Grabs a fucking bag of chips next to her and starts
Yeah.
eating. Because like when Tanisha and I say that we're like hungry, but it's late at night, we're probably not gonna eat,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, we're not trying to starve ourselves. It's just like we're
We
gonna
just don't want
sleep
to eat at
soon.
night.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're just
yeah,
yeah. But Amanda, she has her snacks ready, and like I admire that shit. I don't think I will
yeah,
do it, but I admire that.
yeah. I mean, so I don't usually have food in my room, but I have started keeping a granola bar or two at my desk just in case, like, Dave calls me at the end of like whatever work I'm doing. And so I don't have to excuse myself. I can just take this convenient granola bar that I have and eat it.
Wow,
Yeah.
learning.
This is how we prevent fights in this relationship. Okay. Tanisha has to be constantly fed. Okay. You got to have like an emergency chicken nugget or something in your pocket. Otherwise, like shit's going to happen. Okay. So we joke about this often, Dave and I.
But
A fed
yeah,
partner is a happy partner. Okay.
yeah,
So,
seriously. Okay, so like cravings and how do you
yes.
curb them?
Okay. So, what kind of cravings do I have? I think a lot of the time, like sushi is a big craving for me.
Oh my God, me too.
Yeah, it's never really like snacks, honestly, for me that I crave. I'm just like, sushi sounds really good right now. And that's like almost every day. But obviously, I don't eat sushi every day. And I don't think I have the funds to eat sushi every day. How do I curb that craving in particular? I watch mukbangs. That is what I do. And then I'm okay. Because raw fish is expensive sometimes. How do I curb my cravings? Well, I'll tend to reach for like snack foods, like packaged
Hmm.
processed foods, if I do not have a meal prepared. So if I'm eating during the times that I need to be eating, I usually will not have cravings that smack me in the face in the middle of like doing whatever I'm doing. So that is very important, like eating on time for me to help curb cravings. Yeah.
Yeah,
What about you?
I agree with that. Eating on time. While we were talking in my head, I'm just like, I really have like a routine that I like to stick to. And once you get into that routine, you get hungry around that time,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you can, eat or whatever. But what I crave hot fucking Cheetos, even though
Hot fucking
they don't.
Cheetos.
I had some hot Cheetos earlier, and I was telling Tanisha how like I didn't need it, but like I was not satisfied with my meal, and like it was calling my name. So I had hot Cheetos. it's huge craving that I had but I also know that it doesn't make me feel the best afterwards
Mm,
anyways. So it's like a love-hate relationship.
yeah.
Um, I crave sweets sometimes, like brownies, boba,
Mm,
cookies. I'm not a huge cake person, but I will eat like bundt cakes or like kind of like cupcakes. I don't know. It really
I
depends. I'm
love
kind of picky
cake.
with that. Yeah, I know. And also sushi, like Tanisha mentioned, like that's
Ugh,
literally something I can eat anytime. If
yes.
Brian always asks me, like, what do I want to eat? And I don't want to say anything because I always want sushi and I know he
Yeah.
doesn't want it. So it's like if I say it and he doesn't do it, then I'll get mad. So I'm just not going to say it, you know? Like he should know at that point. At this point in our relationship, if you don't know that I always want sushi, do you know me? Okay.
Oh my God. I'm laughing because I had a similar experience. Like, Dave and I had planned to get sushi,
Yeah.
and then it was like getting to be almost too late to go. And he was like, "Why don't we get something else?" And I was like, "Okay." But like on the inside, I was like fucking pissed. I was like, "What do you mean we're not getting the sushi that you promised me?"
Oh my God.
I got over it. But I was mad for sure.
Yeah, I would be mad. I'd be like, why the fuck did you ask me?
Why
And
did I look forward to
I set my
this?
expectations up
Yeah,
for not sushi.
disappointing.
But so curbing, again, I'm honestly not a huge snacker, so it's easier for me to curb my cravings because the things that I want to eat are not usually with a meal. They're usually snacks. And if I don't snack, then I'm probably not going to eat them. Like in my head, I'm like, I just had like breakfast, lunch, or dinner or something. I'm not hungry enough to get a snack, but I'll
Mhm.
think about that craving and I'm like, okay, if I'm still hungry after like this point of time, then I'll have it. But I'm usually not because I have my meals at certain times.
Yeah.
But if I have like a sweet tooth, then fruit is my go-to. Like I've been eating oranges lately because they've been so sweet. Actually, my mom has not bought oranges in like about 2 weeks. I think that's why I'm a little not sweet right now, okay?
She's
But
feeling things, okay?
yeah, but fruit is a good alternative if you're having like a sweet tooth or something.
Hmm.
I mean, honestly, I fucking love water. So, like, if you ask me what my favorite beverage is, it's water.
Yeah.
So, even though I do crave boba, I love
Water.
water, you know, like, I love boba, but like, I'm okay with just having water.
Yes, the
And
liquid of life.
yeah, it really is. And then some other snacks that I'll have if I feel like I'm getting a headache or something, I'll have some boiled eggs, some cheese, nuts, or dark chocolate. Those are the
Yeah.
things that I tend to have. And they're usually like the small sizes. So
Hmm.
I try to portion myself or get things that are portioned out small enough where I don't overeat. Because if a lot of shit is in front of me, I will just eat what's in front of me. So I have
Mm.
to be conscious and be like, no, let's take one piece of chocolate because that's really all I need. Like,
Yeah.
if I really wanted to, I'll take two. Okay. I'm not restricting myself. I just know I'm like, you bitch, you eat whatever the fuck you see, okay? You don't need all
Hmm.
that. All right? But also if you are craving something, if you're craving something, try making it because if you make it at home, generally it'll be more geared towards your taste and also
That's true.
probably healthier
Yeah.
if you can like cut back on like whatever ingredients you need to cut back in, you know?
Hmm.
But honestly, if you're craving it, just remember everything in moderation. It's all good, okay?
Yeah.
Just overconsumption is what will be an issue to your health.
Hmm.
And I just think that, like, if I'm eating something, if there's a lot of it left, because of my mom, I'm just like, oh, I need to finish it. But, like, you had a taste of it, you enjoyed it, you don't need to overeat, okay? Like,
Hmm.
Brian always says, like, I'm always like, oh, do you want another one? He goes, no, like, I already know what it tastes like, so I don't need more. I enjoy what I already have. And
Wow, I want to be
fuck
like
it.
Brian.
Yeah, like, that's inspiring because
Yes.
if I want something, I have to get it right away. But, if you want to fix something, instead of a large boba, get a regular or a small size,
Yeah.
But I also don't think I'm a good example because I take like
Yes.
a week to drink my
Yes,
boba.
she does.
When Tanisha would live with me, I take one sip, I put it back.
She does. In the refrigerator, yeah. She was like, this will last me a week. Probably not that long, but like, I'm just like, mine is already gone. Like, I want more, you know?
Yeah.
The self-control Kimai has. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I am a firm believer in just eating whatever I want, but I don't want you guys to like hear me say that and be like, wow, she eats whatever she wants. Literally, like half of my body is exposed on my Instagram. Okay, like you can go look at my fitness Instagram. I remember a friend said to me recently, like, wow, like you haven't changed your diet at all and like you look so good. Honestly, like I wanted to make sure that like I got a fitness routine down and I was happy with fitness. Before I would tweak anything with my diet if I was going to. So I had that down first. And for me at maintenance, because I've never tracked before at maintenance calories, like I have gotten to the point where I am now. So if you look at me and you think that like I'm inspiring, like understand that I have never tried to really restrict myself or go through a particular diet or tracked macros or calories. And it is possible to get to a healthy place if you have like a good routine down and like you have a
Mhm.
healthy mindset surrounding food and fitness too.
Yeah.
So don't think you need to do like drastic things in order to look a certain way. Just take it one step at a time, go
Yeah,
slowly. um,
definitely.
I just needed to get that off my chest because when my friend brought this up to me, it was Amanda, okay? When
Oh my
Amanda brought
God,
this up to me, I
Amanda.
was like, I feel like this is very important to mention. um, Also, I have what I want because it makes me happy. I know that once I have a little bit of that snack that I want to have, then it's better than maybe even a substitute that I could get. Like, do I eat the chips I actually want, or do I have the baked version that's not as good? If I eat the baked version, maybe I still want the other version. But
Yeah,
maybe if I just started with the original version, I wouldn't have eaten like as
as
much as I
much.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that is also important to mention.
Mhm.
If you guys have chip bags with like the little chip clip and it's easy to just like unclip that and then like you have access to the bag, tie your chip bags with a fucking rubber band many times. Okay, because that's like another deterrent to change your behavior in small ways rather than like an easy access clip. So that's a way that you could potentially curb cravings, give you more time to think like, do I actually
Yeah.
want to be eating this right now? Yeah, being very mindful helps
Mhm.
too. Understanding that some people have foods that they know that they can't help themselves around. So maybe somebody, if they have a big box of brownies, like they will not stop until all those brownies are gone. So what that person might be able to do is buy individually packaged brownies
Mhm.
or just buy a small amount at a time when they go to the store, things like
Yeah.
that. Or maybe just not keep it in the house because out of sight, out of mind, but everybody
Yep.
is different. Um, I could talk about this topic forever. Okay, you guys.
Yeah, seriously.
There's a lot that I've learned lately and just throughout my life. And dude, another thing, like if you are lazy, sometimes that's a good thing. I'm lazy and I do not buy a lot of food because like
Mhm.
I don't want to get up. Okay. So that is important. And yeah, dude, like make sure you eat at the correct times. Again, I want to reiterate that because that has helped me a lot. Um,
Mhm.
if you're not starving, you're not going to be so impulsive and maybe grab the nearest thing that's easy and quick and easy. Um, yeah. And again, like my memory is terrible. So sometimes I just forget about my craving. Okay. And like in that way, I am thankful for my, terrible memory.
Yeah, I also the journey, okay? We're still on this. It's wild. It's a struggle. We're still on it, right?
Yes.
And the current struggles that I have and that I've had for a while now
Mm-hmm.
is eating healthy, having a balanced meal. even though I say like, oh, I have like a better relationship with food, which I do, eating healthy is still a struggle for me, okay? Because I don't know how to cook very well. Not all vegetables taste very good to me, okay?
True.
So I'm trying my best here. And also stress eating is so fucking real
It's a
for me.
real thing.
It's I know I do it. It's just hard not to when I'm preoccupied with other things. I'm just like, okay, like in my body, I feel like it's running 100 miles an hour. And so
Mm.
I feel like I need to keep up with it by doing something. And if I'm not doing something and I'm in the kitchen, then I'm eating, okay? And so I also want to tie it into mental health, right? Make sure that when you are eating, if you realize or you notice that you're maybe over consuming something, is it because you're stressed or are you really hungry? Like, keep in mind how you're feeling. Because I think for me, realizing that I tend to stress eat during a specific time makes me realize that, okay, if I really, really need to stress eat, let's eat some boiled eggs instead of 10 bags of chips,
High
okay?
protein, yes.
Yeah. Let me eat something that I know will make me full, because if I eat something that like I can just keep eating consistently and not feel full, I'll just keep eating it. But like
Yeah.
if I eat a boiled egg, I probably won't eat a second one unless I'm really actually hungry.
Mm.
And I also enjoy boiled eggs. Okay, I'm not saying boiled eggs as in like it's so healthy I have to eat it. I fucking
Yeah,
love
yeah.
boiled eggs, so it's a treat
Yeah.
for me.
She
Okay.
loves eggs. Yes.
And so like try to look into different alternatives, or like taking those quote unquote unhealthy foods that you're craving outside out of sight, out of mind.
Hmm.
And just know that it is a journey, okay? What we
Yes.
say here, we didn't fucking do this. We didn't snap our fingers and all of a sudden,
If
you
only.
know, yeah, so all of a sudden I'm a pescatarian because I snapped my fingers. No, like
Pescatarian.
it's a process, it's a journey, and I feel like if you are ready for it, then embark on that journey to discover yourself and your
Yeah.
relationship with food. But just to make sure you're fucking ready, because even when you think you're ready, like me, your fucking mind will fucking take you elsewhere and be like, bitch, you thought you're ready. No, think again, try
Yeah.
again next time.
Hmm.
And that's okay too. Okay. Like, just listen to your body and your mind throughout the journey. I mean,
Right.
it's honestly never ending, but you will slowly improve each time.
Yeah. Your experiences will help you tackle new obstacles that come into your life. Again, if you are doing something and you realize you are not happy, maybe don't continue doing the thing that is making you unhappy. Like, it might take time to realize like certain things are what are triggering you to be unhappy, but like once you realize that, then you can tweak and adjust as you go. And yeah, the journey is never ending. It's gonna New things are always gonna pop up, but you will be better equipped to handle the things that come your way. And I want to say like a current struggle of mine is I talk a lot in these fitness episodes. Like I talk a lot about like I just want to get a fat ass. Okay, like I want to grow muscle. Like I want to get strong. Um, but my diet maybe doesn't necessarily reflect like the amount that I need to be eating or like the amount of protein that I need to be eating to be achieving that goal. But you also have to realize that personally, I am not urgently like I do not need a fat ass tomorrow. Okay, like I am not so like into that because I understand that I am in a good place with food in my body and I am happy. And right now, maybe that is more important. Actually, no, that is more important than
It
having a
is more
fat ass.
important.
That is definitely more important than having a fat ass. Okay.
We really
Um,
contemplated that.
I had to think about it for a second. Okay. But so if you are if you are in a caloric surplus in order to gain muscle or get bigger or build a fat ass like me, you do have to eat more. And honestly, mentally, that is a struggle for me, struggle for a lot of other women too, especially because growing up your entire life, you're told that eating more is not a good thing. You should be eating less. So having to flip that switch in your mind and say, like, now I have to be eating more, that is also a very difficult thing. And also understand that losing weight is difficult, but gaining weight is also difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on what a person's goals are, like there are still going to be struggles no matter, like they're pretty similar struggles, I would say, actually. So
Yeah.
yeah, mental struggles are similar. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's our relationship with food now, if y'all don't know?
Well, bitch, personally, I'm thriving. I'm good. I don't obsess over food like I might have in the past. It doesn't consume my thoughts. I'm not like neurotic about it. Like, and I consider that a fucking win that I don't have to think
Mm-hmm.
about it all the time. So, right now, in this moment, personally, I am good and that could change, but we are better equipped now because of our experiences to deal with the future.
Yes.
Yes. What about you, Kim? I?
So food is still it's still something that's on my mind and I think about it. However, I'm not obsessing over it anymore. It does not consume my life. I
Mhm.
do not revolve my I revolve my life around food in a way that's like, what is the next new thing to try? But not to a point where I am putting myself down or
Mhm.
putting my mental and physical health at risk. I'm just mindful of how food affects me, how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to enjoy whatever I can because honestly, life is too short. And just in general, enjoy your life while you have it and
Right.
while you have the ability to enjoy it. Okay. It's honestly all about a quote unquote healthy or a good balance, not restricting, not thinking that there's good or bad foods, just
Yeah.
making sure that you're enjoying what you're eating and having a good balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Important. Very important.
Hmm.
Um, and there are so many things that I've learned, right? You don't have to be in if you're in the fitness space, especially, you do not have to always be in a deficit. You do not always have to be in a caloric surplus. You can be at maintenance, and maybe if you have been in a deficit or a surplus for a while, go to maintenance, and like maybe if you've been unhappy, your mood might improve. You just gotta play around with things and then just understand that it's okay not to be actively trying to change all the time.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, I want to point out that what isn't shared is that you people are not always in a deficit. People are not
Yeah.
always in a surplus. They switch their eating habits and their caloric intake depending on their goal, and it's not supposed to be a long-term thing
Right.
because that's going to fuck up your metabolism. I
Yeah.
don't know the science behind it, but I think that's what people misinterpret, that like if you want to lose weight you always have to be in a deficit.
Yeah.
You also have to balance. Okay, that's what you got to do.
Yes. Um, and also understand that progress will look different for everyone. I'm not just talking about physical progress,
Mhm.
I'm talking about mental progress. So sometimes, like, it's losing weight, that's an improvement for somebody. Sometimes it's gaining weight for
Mhm.
people who have had trouble with food in the past and eating. Sometimes it's saying no to certain treats, and also sometimes saying yes to certain treats. Finally, allowing yourself to eat something and not be so consumed by like the fear of that certain food. So do not be so quick to judge certain people's decisions because you do not know the life experiences that they
Mhm.
have gone to. So
Yeah.
be kind to yourself, be kind to others, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I always say, be fucking nice to yourself
Be
and be
fucking nice
fucking
to
nice to
yourself,
others,
or Kim
okay?
I will come for you,
I will.
literally. Her moral compass is like working, okay? um, Dude, yeah. And then everyone is different. Everyone has a different past. Everyone has different goals. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't just do something just because something worked for somebody else, okay?
Mhm.
Your body will work differently than someone else's will. And don't beat yourself up. Everyone is just trying to do their best. Even you. Even you are just trying to do your best. So be kind
Yes.
to yourself. Yes. And Again, I would like to reiterate, we are not experts. Okay,
No.
please talk to a professional if you are looking to alter something for health, okay, or for
Hmm.
appearance. Talk to a coach, talk to a doctor, talk to a nutritionist. Make sure they can guide you in the right direction in a way that is healthy. And make sure that you are with the right professional for you. Sometimes you
Hmm.
might not vibe with a certain person, and that is okay. There are so many other people out there that you can choose from. So don't feel like you need to stick with a certain program or a certain person if it doesn't make you feel happy and
Hmm.
comfortable.
And we're all unique, all right? There's different factors that play into our
Yes,
lives, hormones,
definitely.
genetics, lifestyle, okay? We're all in this together and we gonna make it, okay?
We're gonna fucking make it, you guys.
And if y'all have any questions, feel free to message us. We'd love to answer anything that you want to talk about regarding this subject and any respectful subject that you guys want to talk about.
Right.
And I hope to the person who submitted these questions and this topic, I hope that we were able to cover what you were interested in. And if we
Hopefully.
didn't, message us, okay?
Yes, we can talk more.
Yeah, we down for that.
Happy to discuss things.
Hmm.
So that's it for our episode, guys. Thanks for listening.
Follow us on Instagram at kinda.tempted. Subscribe and give us a like on YouTube. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.